Hello guys, how are you? This is Sumit Gupta, your favorite Sydney realtor. Today I'm with a special guest with Miss Priyanka Kansal.
Hi, this is Priyanka from Aussie Advisors. How are you doing today?
Welcome guys. Today we're going to have a special session on the buying property in Australia and getting a permanent residency and how they are or not related to each other. So welcome Priyanka. Thank you so
Thank
much
you,
for
Sumit.
joining.
Thank you.
So can you please tell me about Aussie Advisors?
Yes, so Aussie Advisors is a company based in Sydney. So we are having our office at Parramatta, and we are having specialization in different visas. For example, if you talk about the skilled migration, which is one of the top demanding visas in Australia at the moment, and then we have specialization in investment and business visas as well. We have a dedicated team which take care of those visas, and then we can help the students as well to enter Australia, and as you said, it helps in the property also. So yeah, we can talk about it. Is kind of a case specific thing. We can help people in getting the student visas, and I know you can take care of the property part.
Thank you so much Priyanka. That's really exciting.
All right, Sumit, so could you please give us a brief about what is Hansal Estate and what is how do they work?
Okay. Thanks for asking that, Priyanka. So, what Hansal Estate is a real estate agency. We are specialized in brand new properties on off-the-plan homes. We sell both apartments, townhouses, and house and land packages in Sydney, mostly in Sydney regions, but also sometimes in interstate. We are very careful in choosing the products we pitch to our clients. We are not just a real estate company. We are a research-based real estate company. We carefully select the suburbs, the developers, the builders to make sure that our customers get maximum for their bucks. The prospects of ROI is the maximum, both in terms of rental return and capital growth. Of course, there are some trade-offs in different types of properties and different suburbs, but we can help our customers finding the right property in their budget and the suburb they're looking for.
Oh wow, that's really interesting. Even I want to have a property soon.
Perfect. Anytime.
Yeah.
So Priyanka, can you tell me, can buying a property help anyone, any foreigner, getting a PR or citizenship in Australia?
Not really. However, if someone is not satisfying the 2-year requirement from 5 years, once they get their permanent residency, it can help them getting their RRV back. So for example, if someone has a property here, it can have an incentive for them to come back to Australia. This is kind of a general advice only and might not suit all the situations.
Okay, Priyanka,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that input. But I have two questions here. What do you mean by 2 years out of 5 years requirement? Can you please elaborate on that?
Yep.
And what do you mean by RRV?
So RRV is a resident return visa, and by meaning of 2 years out of 5 years means the PR is indefinite. However, the travel rights expires every 5 years. So for example, someone is outside Australia and wish to travel back to Australia and does not satisfy the 2 years requirement in Australia out of the 5 years, there might be some difficulties for him to get into the country now. So getting that resident return visa, that means the RRV visa, if someone is having a property here, will help him as an incentive to come to Australia.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah.
That's new. Thank you. That's a wonderful news for people. One more incentive to buy property in this beautiful country and growing market.
Yeah. Now, Sumit, I have a question, very interesting question for you. So let's say someone is here but not a permanent resident, on some other visa, and wish to have a property here, and he may get the PR in 1 or 2 years. So should that person get the property now or should he wait?
Priyanka, that's a very good question, but because of each state has different rules now. That question does not have a one answer. But
Okay.
I'll try to address this in terms of New South Wales, because we are in New South Wales. All right. So New South Wales. So if you are a foreign buyer, that means if you're on work visa, if you're a student, or if you're not living in a country, you residing some other country, and you do not hold PR and citizenship in Australia, then you are considered as a foreign buyer.
Okay.
Now, when you want to buy a property, there are two major things you have to remember. Generally, the foreign buyers are only allowed to buy brand new property, which means property which has been built in less than 1 year, or which is off the plan. Secondly, for each property, they have to take an approval from Foreign Investment Review Board. That is called FIRB approval.
Okay.
Now, this approval is a bit costly. The minimum cost in Sydney's market price would be around $13,200. Now, first they have to get the approval, then only they can buy the property. I would say if you are getting a PR in more than a year, there's no doubt I would highly recommend to buy the property if you're planning to stay in this country or invest in this country.
So you mean they should buy the property now?
Look, in general, in long run, if you look at the statistics, the Australian market has grown, especially the Sydney market has grown on an average of 7 to 10% every year. And that is, I'm talking about general, about more than 621 suburbs in Sydney at the moment.
Wow.
Out of the 621 suburbs, I'm giving you the median growth. Some suburbs which have seen double-digit growth over a period of time. That means if you choose your investment carefully, not only you're going to get the rental returns, but also the capital growth and the tax benefit of buying a property in Australia.
Oh, wow, that's good to know. So, Sumit, what do you think that the increase in the migration here is impacting the property market?
Well, the thing is, after COVID, the government came up with a plan that they're going to have 230,000 immigrants every year. Now, if you look at the 230,000 immigrants, an average home occupancy or household occupancy in Australia is around 2.3% or 2.4%, which means that Australia needs overall 100,000 homes every year. 100,000 homes, that can be apartments, townhouses, or a house and land. But in no way Australia has resources or manpower to build 100,000 homes every year. And that is a case when they stick to the fact that they're going to get only 230,000 immigrants every year. And this plan was announced in 2021 for next 40 years. But what has recently changed, that after the new government elected recently, they have announced that they're going to have 400,000 immigrants just this year. 400,000.
Yeah,
which means
I know.
you're going to need close to 150,000 homes this year, and government knows, the human resources department knows, immigration knows that Australia is even without 400,000 immigrants, they are going through housing crisis. This housing crisis will go deeper. So it means it will only put more pressure in the property market. It means more prices are going to go up. This is my expectation. Nobody has a crystal ball. But this is my expectation. The prices are expected to go up. Rentals are already going up. In fact, as per the data, Sydney has already seen a growth of 25% in their rentals in last 1 year alone. So having said that, if you can buy the property in this country, be the one in a million, and do that.
And do it right now.
Do it as soon as possible.
True.
All right. So Priyanka, because as we had just mentioned that 400,000 people are going to come in immigration, right? What do you think? What are the new rules and policies? Why the government is increasing such number of immigrants, and what are the new changes coming in 23-24?
Oh, to talk about the migration changes, it is the one or the other thing coming every day. So we are getting news from the Department of Home Affairs that this is the changes and these are the visas coming up. So the most positive thing I can see here is for the skilled migration people. So earlier in 2022, they have given around 79,000 of visas. However, they have increased it to 110,000 for this coming year, which means Australia needs skilled people a lot. Yeah, so that's a very good news for them. If you are planning to migrate to Australia and getting a permanent residency and want to call Australia as home, this is the right time. Another update I would like to give here is for the student visa holders. Earlier, because of the COVID, there were no restrictions on their work rights. However, from 1st of July 2023, it has gone back to the restricted hours, and which is 24 hours a week or 48 hours fortnightly. Another thing I would like to say here is about the 485, which is again a good news for them. So 485 is a temporary visa which students get after they finish their studies. So earlier it was for masters and bachelors The visa was used to be for 2 years to 3 years, and now this government has announced that they can increase it to 2 years more if they have a specified qualifications or occupations, which is a dedicated list has been given by the government. So these are few changes which are coming towards the positive side. So skilled migration is increasing, and I would like to say here is that this year would be a very good year for migration.
Amazing, amazing. Yeah. Wow, 30,000 increase in just skill visa.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
So Sumit, what are the steps involved in buying a property in Australia?
Yes, Priyanka. So I touched this topic in my previous question a little bit.
Yep.
The number one step for any international person to buy the property in Australia is to get FIRB approval, that is Foreign Investment Review Board approval. Once that approval is assigned, now that can be two types of approval. One is open approval, which means you can give your budget and you can take an approval and then you can hunt for the property. Second is that you select the property first, you know what amount of property you're buying for, and then apply for FIRB. That is the most safe way to go because FIRB fee is non-refundable, and if you buy a property of higher budget than you initially applied for, then you have to apply for the entire application again. So it is very, very recommended to first shortlist the property, hold it, go for FIRB approval, and then close the deal. The biggest issue for few buyers would be that whether they will get if they want to apply for the loan to buy the property, that whether they will get the loan or not, because many banks have very stringent requirements, especially for the foreign buyers, in evaluating their borrowing capacity, as they don't have the access to their records immediately. So they're relying on the documents supplied by the individuals. So in that case, people living in Europe, America, or earning money anywhere in the world in dollars or euros have higher chances of getting loan in Australia as compared to other countries. Having said that, recently the New South Wales have announced that 8 countries, like generally everybody who wants to buy property in New South Wales, if they are a foreign buyer, they have to pay 8% extra property surcharge. Now 8% is a huge amount, and especially a huge blow on their cash flow. But recently the New South Wales government has announced that citizens of 8 countries, which means the citizens of South Africa, Germany, Norway, Finland, New Zealand, India, and Japan, would not have to pay that 8% extra surcharge. What it tells me? It tells me that government wants foreigners to buy property here. It means more foreigners buy the property, the prices will go up. Even though there's already a huge high housing crisis, I can see the prices can go up easily. So again, two major requirements of foreign buyers is get an FIRB approval and check your borrowing first before you buying the property. Thanks.
That's good to know. So do you mean that you will be providing like end-to-end service to the prospective clients?
Yes, absolutely. So look, we have a panel of consultants, and you are part of that. Thank you for being part of that. So we have a panel of consultants and experts who will help us and our clients from point A to point Z in getting their property in Australia. So we have solicitors who will apply, who can help them in filing FIRB. We have ties up with solicitors who are going to take care of their agreement, the contract, the purchase agreement. Then if they have any immigration relation questions, they can of course reach you. We have mortgage brokers who can talk to different banks, different private lenders if they need any mortgage to buy the property. And secondly, lastly, we are here to help them to find the right property for as per their investment goal, whether they want high capital growth, whether they want higher capital cash flow, or both. In that case, we are here. So we have the entire team, and that's what Hansel Estate is known about, provide end-to-end services to the clients.
Oh wow, that's really good. So guys, if you want to buy a property, whom to contact?
Thank you.
So Sumit, another question comes to my mind is that the hottest topic in the market these days is rising in the interest rates. So what do you think about the local buyers and the international buyers about it?
Good question, Priyanka. This is the interest rate in today's market is on everybody's mind. Everybody talks about it, whether they buy the property or not. They talk about interest rates because Australia has not seen 12 hikes in such a short span of time. Now, let me give you, look, I'm not a person with intuition. I'm a person with data. So if you look at the growth in the month of May, even with the 11 consecutive 12 interest rate hikes, in just over a year's time. Sydney market has seen a growth of almost 0.58%. 0.58%. Now, if you multiply by 12, you are seeing that Sydney market is growing at the rate of 7% per annum. Even I was shocked when I heard that news yesterday. It was in news yesterday that the property market here in NSW in Sydney rise by 2%. You know why? Because the government was terminating or ending their 1.5 million land tax deal for the first home buyers, and a lot of first home buyers don't want to pay that stamp duty on $1.5 million property. So they rushed to the market, they bought whatever they can, and as a result, the property market within 1 month rose by 2%. If that's the case, now multiply 2% by 12, you're looking at the jump of 24% in 1 year. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen every month, but it gives you the positivity and the growth prospect of this city, this region in entire Australia. Having said that, interest rate rise or not, the property market is going up. And I can just give you one more data on that. In 1980 to 1989, the interest rate in Sydney was around 12.9%. We are only paying 6% right now, less than half. At that time, it was 12.9%. And the property market grew in between 1980 to 1989 almost by 21% every year.
Wow, oh my God.
So interest rate is only a short-term sentimental effect. In long run, the property market drives by only one thing: demand and supply, period.
Yep, so people should think positively about it.
People should think about long-term, not just the short-term.
Yep, good to know.
So Priyanka, just you asked me about my end-to-end services. Now I'm curious about your end-to-end services. So tell me, what sort of services Aussie IMI Advisor provide to their clients?
All right, so we deal in all sort of visas if I talk about. So we help anyone to come to Australia, whether it is a temporary visa or a permanent visa or a visit visa. So we can help them in getting the visitor visa, student visas, 485s, then the permanent residency through skilled migration, employer sponsored visas, and of course the investment and business visas. We have experience of more than 8 years, and I have done a lot of complex cases, and we can help you as well. We are going to provide the end-to-end services from looking at your profile, giving you the right options for you, which suits your profile, and then giving you the options which will help you to migrate to Australia. So so we have a dedicated team for each visas. So this is how we work.
Wow, wonderful, Priyanka, wonderful. So guys, look, this is so good to know that we have an experienced immigration agent right next to us who you can approach if you have any questions. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for staying with us for this long. We are here to help you to the best of our capabilities and understanding. And we are here to find you the right home, right investment. And also if you need a visa, then we have the right people to reach to. Have a good day. Stay tuned. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks guys. Thanks for watching.